Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're building a literal, step-by-step battle plan to protect your home from the absolute massive headache that is basement flooding. We're pulling together the best intel from drainage experts to make sure your home stays perfectly dry when the seasons start to shift.
So let's dive right into the big question, because when that snow begins to melt, your home is put to an ultimate seasonal test. Winter might be packing its bags, but the transition to spring brings a massive influx of water that will absolutely push your property's defenses to the breaking point.
We're going to tackle this strategically today. 1. The spring thaw threat. 2. Spotting the warning signs. 3. Securing the home exterior. 4. Fortifying the basement interior. And finally, 5. Calling in the professionals.
Starting off with Section 1, the spring thaw threat. We really need to understand the enemy here. First things first, we have to grasp exactly what makes this shift in weather so incredibly dangerous for our homes. The thaw isn't just a bump in temperature, it's a massive surge in physical pressure pushing right up against your foundation. Picture this, just 10 inches of average snow melting can dump over 2,000 gallons of water right around a typical home's perimeter. To put that in perspective, that's like emptying dozens of giant bathtubs directly against your walls. And those freeze-thaw cycles we get, they actively loosen the soil around your house while simultaneously clogging up your gutters, downspouts, and drains. So you've got way more water runoff, skyrocketed groundwater pressure, and failing drainage routes literally all happening at the exact same time.
So here's the real kicker. You actually don't need a massive, record-breaking storm to cause a totally devastating flood if your older plumbing or sump pumps are unprepared. Just a brief, unexpected warm stretch that melts a moderate amount of snow can completely overwhelm a weak system. And when that happens, well, the water simply has nowhere else to go but inside your house.
Moving on to Section 2, spotting the warning signs. Let's do some early reconnaissance.
Long before the heavy meltwater actually hits, you need a solid mental checklist to spot vulnerabilities. Think of it as figuring out exactly where your defenses are going to be tested. Start with the highest risk signs. You want to look really closely at your foundation walls for any recurring moisture. And pay attention to your sense of smell. Musty odors are an absolute dead giveaway of hidden dampness. Check for damp carpet, especially right in the corners of your basement, and keep an eye out for any dark water staining on your concrete floors or cinder blocks. If you're seeing these signs, it means water is already actively probing your home's perimeter.
Right, Section 3, securing the home exterior. Time to build up those outer defenses.
Now we head outside, which is truly your first line of protection. Your exterior grading matters way more than most homeowners realize. You absolutely must ensure water disperses rather than pooling right up against your walls. Think about it. If the soil around your foundation slopes toward your house, you are essentially building a giant funnel pointing straight at your basement. You want to maintain a clear perimeter where the ground visibly falls away from the structure. And while nice landscaping and fresh mulch can look amazing, they're only helpful if they direct water away rather than acting like a sponge holding moisture against the foundation.
Water is incredibly lazy. It will always find the easiest route indoors, so taking a few actionable steps ensures all that surface runoff is sent far away. Start by getting up there and clearing the winter debris out of your gutters. Next, check your downspouts. They need to discharge several feet away from the foundation walls, definitely not just dumping water right at the base. Finally, if you have surface drains, window well covers, or exterior weep holes, confirm they are completely unobstructed. Blocked footing drains are a massive culprit for unexpected basement water intrusion.
Let's look at Section 4, fortifying the basement interior, securing the inner keep.
Okay, with the outside secured, we move indoors to your absolute last line of defense. If you have a sump PID, testing the system right now is critical. It's literally make or break for surviving extended storms. You need to verify that the float switch moves freely and the pump isn't blocked by silt or gravel. Make sure the discharge line is actually running away from the foundation outside. And if you rely on a battery backup, verify it's fully charged right this second before the thaw even hits.
A few targeted actions in here can save you a world of pain, reducing water entry and protecting your stuff from those inevitable humidity spikes that show up long before the actual puddles do. During a thaw, the little cracks around utility pipes can leak like crazy. You want to seal those minor gaps with real, water-resistant sealants made specifically for below-grade use. Actually, experts explicitly warn against using temporary fixes, like spray foam that just trap moisture inside the wall. You want to stop the active flow but let the foundation breathe. Keep those basement vents clear and definitely run dehumidifiers, because humidity levels are going to spike fast. Oh, and just to be safe, get your valuables off the floor and out of the corners where water naturally likes to pool.
Finally, Section 5, calling in the professionals. knowing when to bring in reinforcements.
Look, a good commander knows exactly when the DIY approach just isn't going to cut it anymore. For homes with persistent issues, proper structural upgrades from a pro are infinitely more reliable than you running around doing short-term patching. If you're dealing with repeat flooding, frequent damp seepage along the walls, or if you actually see rising water physically coming in from the outside during a storm, a foundation drainage specialist needs to step in. They can evaluate your footing drains, check your exterior waterproofing, and assess the whole shebang to give you a permanent fix.
I love this quote because it really hits the nail on the head as to why we built this battle plan today. Prepping right now prevents a brief, lovely, warm stretch of weather from turning into a massive, stressful expense. By clearing your water paths, verifying your pumps, dialing in your exterior grading, and locking down the interior, you are drastically reducing your risk.
So armed with these strategies, I really want you to evaluate your defenses right now before the big melt even begins. But I also want to leave you with this to chew on. With our extreme weather patterns constantly shifting and rapid spring thaws becoming way more frequent, is your home truly adapted for the climate of tomorrow, or are we all just barely surviving the weather of today? Don't wait until you have standing water in your basement to find out. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and seriously, stay dry out there.